are we doing, Darren?
Well, I think weather and time has taken our electrical box, so we're gonna put a new one on.
It looks like sad. It looks like even crying if that's just not.
All right, so first we're gonna check it. Yeah, that one's looking pretty scary. There we go. Yeah, I think it's overdue for time. Looks like we have power. So let's go and kill the main and go from there.
Well, Darren went in there and found that this is now dead. He said he didn't want to have a shocking experience. I don't know what he meant by that.
People seem shocked when they see how bad electrician I am.
And they call him Sparky, too.
They have told me Sparky.
You know, that's sometimes a compliment, but I think in his case it may not be.
All right.
Well, this one's genuine plastic, except no substitute. I think it was on sale when I bought it. So he had turned off the power, and he stuck his tongue to the wire to make sure it was off.
Double checked it by the lick test.
Do not do that, folks. That was a joke.
Oh, it's threaded right into it. Okay. What I'm going to do, because we're not keeping any of this, just kind of
Not even for sentimental reasons. You know.
Especially for that.
I remember a lot of bugs and moths.
All the bugs that died.
Yeah, that came out when I took the bucket off of it. I had a bucket on it because the seal started leaking. Not that I'm complaining about it. For 12 years, it's worked okay.
Yeah.
But the fish were complaining. They don't like to be supplied with electricity that is faulty, I guess. No, we don't use electricity on fish. It creates and makes that bug killer right there. Put bugs down in the water. That's what this is used for. And it has a GFI. What's GFI stand for? Ground fault interrupt.
If you ever have that on a test now you'll know.
I think it's the third question on the test for how to be a human being or something real complicated. Okay, now we have wires. And we have the old GFI, which we will keep because it works. Just wasn't real attractive.
All right. So now let's take the old box off. Now I'm making sure I walk into the light as much as I can. Just me.
We're doing this and it's getting dark, so we've got lights strung up everywhere. And
we're in that magic time before falling back in daylight savings, where it gets dark before you get home almost.
Have you got your daylight savings plan built up? I keep trying to put days in mine, but it doesn't take them.
I just think we should stay with one, but that's just me. All right. We got the screws. We'll put them back in there. Let's get the new box.
Tonight, folks, I got a metal box this time instead of genuine plastic. The reason I got it, it's supposed to be simple to install.
And he knew I was simple.
Well, it's either that or they lied a lot, you know, when they said it was simple.
Okay. Let's take this box apart and see how it mounts up. I'm gonna put all the parts. There we go. I think these are looking.
He doesn't have his 2020s on, so.
Sometimes it's fine to cheat. All right.
I knew you'd hate that.
They already have the ground set. That's nice. Ground's already set into the plug. They show you how far you should strip your wire there. And it goes in these little holes? Yeah, looks like it.
I've got, maybe have too big a gauge. I
We
hope
might have a too big gauge of wire.
we might have to narrow it down a bit. We can do that if need be with our little.
Well, I don't have to do anything to add the fits. I took a piece of the wire from the old. We were worried that the size of the wire was going to be bigger than this plug will allow, but it is not. It's going to be just fine. But I still have to make a jumper. But it'll take a 10, so I'll make the jumpers with the 10. We got red 10. I'm sure there was, if I would have thought.
And the lower the number, the bigger the wire. Is that correct?
That is. And they do that, I think, just to mess with people.
Wish they'd do that with shoe sizes and things and pant sizes, especially pant sizes.
Oh, yeah. You know, like golf, the lower work. Here. So I brought something to help me. I didn't put it through the hole because I'm impatient. Now, the only problem I have with that little Harbor Freight tool set is they only give you one color.
Well, are you saying that red is not a good color?
It's a fine color. So I'd power that, but then I'd need to put my common here, my common there. I only got one color wire, which I'd really like to have a different colored wire, but I figured out what I'm going to do because I just thought of it. I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to color the common line. I hope I'm saying that right. I can't remember. Neutral, common, can't remember. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Dad's colored duct tape or electrical tape and paint the other wire I'm going to use because it's going to be the same color. All right. Now it's going to look kind of like that. So now I'm going to doctor me up some wire to distinguish it from the hot wire. I'm going to have to take the plug out of the holder and get to the inside plug. The inside.
Okay. The reason he's taking it apart, folks, is he has to take it apart to tighten the screws to make the wire tighten up. And he wasn't given enough room for his screwdriver to actually get in there real good.
Mm-hmm.
So he took it out of its container to do that. And he's putting the white wire on the silver side, which says, if you look on here, it will say this is, okay, this is the line. So this is the white or black wire. So this will have the white tape on it.
Okay. Put the white tape one in.
So that is the same as a white wire or a black wire. In other words, the negative side.
And this will be my jumper control. All right.
That makes both of them negative on that side. He just hooked the negatives to both outlets.
Now I'm going to get our power feed into only one side. Let me.
And folks, we make a lot of mistakes, but that's how we learn.
Well, if you're scared to make a mistake, you don't ever do anything. And if you're new to it, you're going to make mistakes.
Like a YouTube channel, you actually have to do it to make it work.
You gotta. I mean, nothing. The ones you don't try, you fail every time. Every now and then we get a win. You know, sometimes the stuff works the first time. Most times it doesn't. But no one starts out being an expert in anything. All right.
A lot of politicians do.
Well, they say they do, but according to our economy, it doesn't always work out for them, does it? Again, I'm tightening up the wires, trying to keep any whiskers out. They probably work better with a solid brand wire, or solid wire. But
Darren usually is all screwed up, but he can't get it done this time. There we go. I just set it and then he got it working. Folks, I haven't insulted him in what, 10, 12 seconds, so I've got to get ahead.
Didn't even realize it. We've gone that far.
You notice he ignores me quite easily.
All righty. Just for the travel, I'm going to put these screws back in. Because I have a 100% failure rate at keeping these screws if I don't screw them in somewhere. Yep, almost perfectly failing at it. All right, so we've marked them.
We've marked the red wire with the white as actually the negative or ground.
All right. So now, let's go outside and install it.
Okay, folks, we're out here. In the great outdoors.
It's dark and scary. Well, not really. But a little bit dark. So I'm going to mount the box to the wood post.
A lot of people do this in the daytime, I've noticed. But
Well, where's the excitement in that?
the thrill, the shocking defeat. No, that's bad. All he's doing, folks, is just screwing it to that post. And the post is not objecting very much.
Not much. All right.
And what are you doing now?
I'm trying to close up the box except for the hole we want the wire to go into.
Well, I like the wasp that lived in the old one.
Well,
I'll miss that, not getting stung every
you'll
time.
miss the excitement of coming out here, huh?
I'll sure miss that. It's a deal like that one on the side there, folks. It just screws on the bottom.
Just screws in. It has a little O-ring in it, seals it up. I'm gonna go to Dad's toolbox here and grab a nut for the wire for the seal tight, because I don't believe we still have one. All righty.
And we got a metal one to spare just in case. Ace Hardware came into just before they closed. I got in and out pretty quick. I think they wanted to close the door.
I almost made a mistake. Oh, I guess I did make a mistake, but I caught it. Might want to put the other side on first. I don't know how many times that's got me in trouble not thinking ahead with a coupler like that.
I've seen the sign, think ahead, and the D's missing. And what that does, folks, it tightens around that rubber outside or vinyl outside and tightens it up so it doesn't slip. That's what he was talking about. He didn't put that on first.
Yeah, I put the nut pretty much on it, you know, before you put the other piece on. Many times I've got a lot farther in that before I realized, and been very mad at myself.
Folks, I'm holding the light here because it's dark. Even the bugs can't see. Or they'd be biting me by now. You reckon we could get their eyesight corrected, you know, on the bugs?
Oh, I think I'm happy they can't see very well.
I found one.
I think I'm going to use that metal one. And then I might use that one on the top of it. I think it's, I don't know, it got cross-threaded somehow.
I thought that was your name when you were a kid, cross-threaded.
Yeah. Well, it's real easy to do if you're not paying attention. And you think, oh, well, I'll just tighten it a little bit. Yeah. Lived to regret that a few times. And I'm going to just put this cap on top anyway, just in case. And this red wire is an extra wire we didn't use, but we didn't pull it out of the cable that was on it. All right. So I'm just getting rid of the red here. Gonna put our ground.
He's putting the ground wire onto the casing itself, and then it also goes into the receptacle.
There's our ground. Our extra wires probably legally should be pulled out of that whole connector and pulled out. I'm sure there's a better way to do it, but you know, I'm doing it this way.
Folks, if you want to know how to do this late at night, you can do this. I don't know if you can do it in the daytime watching this.
Where's the challenge in that? All right. So now I'm going to get the wire strippers and take off. They say a pretty, where is it? The strip guide right there. That's a pretty good amount. So I'm going to go get the strippers real quick and finish up.
All right, what are you doing?
I'm going to take the insulation off this wire.
Want it to get cold?
This is the very end, but it's okay. It's going to be in that other plug. I'm going to bring it out over here. While I'm doing this like
Don't have to be
this,
concerned about it. If it's going to get warm, it's going back in the plug.
why am I doing it out here like this? Is so I can see it. Again, it's best to do all your high power wire work in the dark, right next to a pond.
It adds mystery to life, I hear.
I mean, you don't want to just walk around bored all the time.
Okay, folks, he's putting it together. Tighten it up. It's the middle of the night. The bugs are out. We've got lights all over the place. The neighbors think we're thieves probably out here, but we're going to get this done. The dogs are barking. And we've got the drill motor. We're coming close. And with the editing, he'll look brilliant.
Magic of editing I've liked a lot. I found out it doesn't work like when I'm at work. Like, oh man, that's a lot of stuff to do.
I noticed the paperwork on your desk is just as high before the editing as after the editing.
Well, yeah. All right. I retightened them all, just make sure. Now I get to put these little long screws back in. I'll do one at a time.
You reckon they make them that long just so you can see them?
I think so you don't drop them. I really think they do go in that far because it's harder to lose them if they're longer. I've started it.
I believe I could do it.
Oh, I've proven. They say it's foolproof, and I proved them wrong.
You know, I hated the invention of shag carpet when you drop it through a nut.
Oh, I bet. Now explain what shag carpet is, Pop.
What is shag carpet? That tells me age, doesn't it?
Think about it.
When I went to school, I parked the dinosaurs behind the school till after school and rode them home.
Oh, after. Oh, okay.
And you know they required that all schools be built 5 miles from anybody's property.
Anybody's property.
And it snowed in the summer.
I still don't understand the hill. How is it?
It was uphill both ways. It's very, very unusual. But
That's
my dad told me this, and I told him maybe he just took the wrong path to school. He probably lived across the street from it.
both ways.
If y'all are wondering how the fountain's still working with electricity off, it runs on air. And the air is coming from that building way back there.
It's a whole...
So that's why we didn't have to worry about unplugging the pump.
So now I'm going to plug in the knife we're using. I'm going to clean up tools here in a second. I just didn't want to leave that knife right there. And I'm going to turn on a light switch. It should have big light. That's what...
You're going to turn on the power. All right.
Hey, Dad was right.
We've got lights. We reset the reset on button on the GFI, and we've got lights now.
Now, I was like pretty sure. I was like 80% sure that.
What happened? He turned on the switch and nothing happened.
I
So
was pretty sure that we had to reset the switch.
see the terror in his eyes.
There for a little bit, I was like, of course.
Now you want to plug in the deal, the bug killer, and see if that works.
Get the bug killer here.
It does have a way for the cord to come out the bottom. So, all right, the bug killer came on. You can see it is on now. Here, bugs, bugs, bugs.
Now the bugs feel a lot better. They have a more secure electronics near it.
They won't be fearful. They'll have a light.
They'll come closer now because they weren't scared of the horrible box we had when you were running before.